What is up, guys, and welcome back to another gaming breakdown, a segment where we cover upcoming games and decide whether or not they are going to be worth the hype. And today we are talking about Ninja Gaiden 4. And we also got some brand new gameplay because Xbox sent over a small build of the game for me to play early. I spent roughly 4 hours learning moves, experimenting with combos, running trials, exploring, and trust me, there's a lot that the fans of the genre are going to want to hear. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Please subscribe. Now, I've been in love with the hack and slash action brawler genre for years. Think Dynasty Warriors, OG God of War, Dante's Inferno, and Devil May Cry, for example. And while I've only played a couple of the Ninja Gaiden games all the way through, I think I know enough of this genre to say this game is not pulling any punches. It's just as brutal, just as bloody, and just as unapologetically violent as you would want the game to be. At least that's how it felt during my playtime with it. The missions I got to play was in the role of the new lead protagonist, Yakumo of the Raven Clan, a young ninja with an arsenal of tricks to unlock and utilize, most of which I spent a lengthy amount of time learning in the training arena before actually even booting up the main game. They're flashy, and when you get a feel for the perfect parry or perfect dodge mechanics and pair it with the new signature stance called Blood Raven, it can make for some really satisfying combat. I mean, the attacks you unleash in the Blood Raven stance are pretty devastating, to say the least. You can also counter unblockable or undodgeable attacks. You can stagger bosses if you time it perfectly. It's all the stuff you like to see in games like this. Small scale, powerful protagonists taking on larger than life enemies in a spectacle kind of way. But unlike my first hands-on with the game, this time around I actually got to play as Ryu again. And just like his counterpart Yakumo, he has his own stance with similar mechanics and utility, but a different flavor of execution. And after playing as Yakumo for so long, it felt nice stepping back into his shoes, executing that same level of aggression, just with different moves, abilities, and finishers. These were also the only characters in the build of the game I received, and in my experience, Ninja Gaiden can and has had more playable characters in their games, but if they decided to keep a more narrow focus with these two characters, similar to what we've seen bouncing back and forth between Dante and Nero and Devil May Cry 4, I am more than fine with that because both of these characters were very fun to play as. And if you've played Ninja Gaiden before, you will feel comfortable with this quickly, and there's plenty of new things to learn as well. It's definitely a build to welcome new players who've never played before, but will reward longtime fans of the series who want to learn all the new tricks the game has to offer. The combat feels crunchy, while the camera was smooth to maneuver. Everything just feels deliberate. Every swing, every dodge, every execution. I did have some occurrences where combat stopped flowing so smoothly at times, but that was rectified utilizing the new grappling hook, which can pull you to walls and set up the next attack. X and Y will remain your primary attack inputs for combos, and mixing them up will give you different attack strings. Obliteration attacks return as well, serving as the premier way to finish off maimed or near-death enemies. Charge attacks also make their flashy return, where holding Y for long enough makes it more deadly. And one thing I also enjoyed is that essence, which at least in the last Ninja Gaiden I played, which was black, historically was yellow, has now been renamed Blood Essence and radiates a bright red on the battlefield, making them incredibly easy to spot, enticing you to use that ability liberally and indiscriminately. Now, there was one standout feature that I believe was actually new because I don't remember it from the previous games I've played, and that is something called Purgatory gates. These of which are hidden throughout the levels and act as kind of an endurance challenge, which before entering you choose a handicap that reduces your maximum health, and then you step into a dark, ominous realm where before starting the brawl you can shop for items and upgrade techniques. They're tough and they're at the difficulty you set for the game, so you will feel those handicaps perhaps if you choose one of the more difficult ones, but it's definitely something I think hardcore fans of the game are going to love and definitely use for aura farming. And overall, the levels felt handcrafted to be fun to navigate while keeping that grim, dangerous Ninja Gaiden atmosphere intact. Now, from what I've played so far, Ninja Gaiden 4 is shaping out to be everything I think the fans will want. It's fast, brutal, stylish, and uncompromising. I didn't experience any bugs, glitches, or anything game-breaking, so that's a good sign, and I think if the rest of the game keeps this momentum, this could be a solid run at best action game for the year. And the last little bit I'm going to round out this video with is the boss fight I got to have, which was a ton of fun. It was aesthetically beautiful. They teed up really well encountering the boss for the first time, and they even teased you into thinking that the fight was over, only to reveal that the boss was still alive and you had to navigate this arena area for a little bit, and then ultimately got to fight the boss in a final area. I mean, honestly, all I'm saying is keep that same energy for the rest of the boss fights in this game. You're going to make your player base incredibly happy. Truth be told, guys, it's really cool to see what this game has evolved from since the NES version of Ninja Gaiden and what it looks like today. It is an awesome evolution of the franchise, and I've been hooked on it ever since I got my hands on it at Summer Games Fest, and getting my hands on it again this second time has only expanded upon that interest. And I think if you're one that enjoys a good hack and slash title, I think this game is going to be right up your alley. But that's going to do it for this early hands-on impression. Let me know if Ninja Gaiden 4 is on your radar, what you think from what has been revealed so far. And if you guys liked the video, send it to a friend who you think might also want to learn about this game. It helps me out, and hopefully for them, it puts a fresh new game on their radar as well. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and remember guys, whatever it is, keep it in sight.